Hello guys, welcome to another video tutorial. In this video I'm gonna teach with you how you can perform the operations like insert, update, delete, view using PHP, MySQL and also object-oriented programming language. I will use OOP, our concept, to perform those operations. So I have designed this application. I'm going to show with you working process of this application. So first of all, I'm going to insert the record. I'm going to also open PHP MyAdmin and I'm going to use programmer PHP. I'm going to use PHP programmer and php gmail.com. I'm gonna use save. As you can see guys, data has been saved. This is already stored data inside our database. So this is a view.php page, as you can see, and inside this page have two operations like edit the record, delete the record. So first I'm gonna edit the record. I'm gonna use web developer web dev at gmail.com. Update now. Record has been updated, right? And this is a updated record. I'm going to show with you the application database and also data, and this is the users table. Inside this table have a same record, right? As you can see. Now the last thing I'm going to show with you how you can delete the record. Just click on delete now. Record has been deleted. I'm going to click again delete. Everything is deleted from our database. Let me check out. Right, this is a complete empty table. So I'm going to teach with you how you can design and develop the application using object-oriented programming language in PHP. So first I'm gonna create a folder, Crud app, and I'm going to show with you how you can download Bootstrap. Basically I'm going to use Bootstrap CSS file to design the application. So the downloading process is very simple, and just wait a couple of seconds. I'm going to select the C and htxampp, htdoc, and where is the project? Crud application. Save that, download, open the folder, and then I wanna get the only CSS file, Bootstrap CSS file. So remove this one and cut the bootstrap.csv file, again cut, paste it. Remove this one folder, and also you need to create a folder with the name of CSS. You need to move this file inside this folder. Now the next thing, you need to open your code editor and just drag and drop the file inside your code editor. I'm going to show with you, just a minute. Okay, code editor is opening now. Drag and drop. Check out. Okay, so CSS folder and CSS file. So let's start write the code. So first I'm gonna write the index.php file, and then I'll write the basic syntax of HTML. Okay, just a minute. I'll write HTML basic syntax, and I'm going to use Crud operation in PHP using. Now the next thing we need to include the CSS link. Inside CSS folder have a CSS file like bootstrap.cs. So first thing we need to design the registration form. So first I'm gonna assign the class bg.doc inside the body tag, right? And I will create a couple of divs and then I will assign the classes. Just a minute. I will 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? So first I'm gonna assign the class container. Second one is a row. Third one is a call lg6, means large screen, and the form will be appeared in the 6 size. There are 12 columns inside our complete whole page using Bootstrap classes. So now the next thing I'm gonna assign the class card and class card title, right? So I think I need to cut that and paste it, right? This is a card title and this is a card body, right? And just a minute, I arrange that. And now the last one is a class card footer, right? Inside card title I'm gonna use h2 sign up form, and inside the body I'm gonna call form action. I'll leave the action and use method post and use input type text name first class form. No, I first assign the placeholder first name and class form control. I'll leave this one, and also I'm going to use margin bottom to make a space between first and second input text field, right? Second one type is text, and this is the last name, last, copy that, paste here. Third one is also text, this is a username, and fourth one is a email. Do you want to use your own input text field? You can do that. In my case I will design this one type application. I just share you how you can use OOP language to perform those operations. So last one is a user email, and everything is perfect. Now not perfect, I cut the form closing form tag, right, and paste inside our card footer div, because I will use button tag and I will save. So use class btn success and also send the name btn_save. Save that, and let's check it now. Crowd, I'm gonna search my project. What is my project name? OOP crowd app, right? This is our form. Now I want to display this form on the center, so I just use margin auto inside call lg6, save and refer that, right? And also I want to change title to header, right? I want to make a space between browser and our form. So go to where is the card? This one, card, and assign the class margin top 5, right? Now the next thing, we need to create a database. Basically I have already made database with the name of crowd. I will create a table. I'm going to use implies, and we need to make 5 columns. So 4 are available inside our form, and 1 is your ID number that will help you to generate the unique number. So first one is the ID, type is an integer, and we need to also use auto increment primary key. The second one is the first name, last name, username, and also email. So I'm going to change the types, varchar 255, 255, 255, 255. Save that, and our database has been created. Sorry, our table has been created. Now the next thing, we need to create a connection, right? So I open my folder, project folder, and I will create a folder like config, right? Inside config file, a folder, I'm going to create a file db config.php. Inside this file, first I'm going to write the basic syntax, so PHP, and then I'll create a class with same name, db config. Right, inside this class I will create a connection between our database and our project. So first I'm going to call public function db_connect, parenthesis, I also make a variable public connection, right? This is a connection. Inside the connection function, dbConnect function, I'm going to call $this and call connection variable, this one, and I'm going to use MySQL underscore connect function. We need to pass parameter localhost, root, and null, and fourth one is a database name Crud, right? And I'm going to use if statement, if MySQL error connect error, this one function, if our connection is stable, then not stable, so I'm going to display the message connection failed, right? So this is very simple. I'm going to check that our connection working or not. So outside of this class, I'm going to call object db new config db config. This is a database column, a class name, this one, and I'm going to call echo db hyphen db connect function. Save that, and let's check it now. On what is name, config slash db config.php. Everything is clear. You can't see the error, but I change the username like this one. Refresh that. Access denied for user. This is the error, so we need to use root. So we have made a database and also make a connection between our database and also our programming language. Now the next thing, I'm going to create another file inside the config file, operations.php. Inside this file, class operations. Inside this file I will use functions that will help you to perform the operations like insert, update, delete, view, right? So first of all, we need to make a function to store the record inside our database. So I'm gonna write public function store underscore record. This is my function that will help you to store the record inside the database, right? Inside that, first I'm going to use if set $post btn underscore save. If anyone user will click on the button save, then I'm going to display the message working, right? This is very simple. Now I'm going to call this function where I call this function, guys, first thing, you need to include operations.php file inside the db.config file. I'm going to call require once operations.php. No, I'm going to use another way, dot config, just a minute, dot db not operations.php, right? Now the next thing we need to, I'm going to also use config folder name. I check that again, guys. Basically config db, no, I just use db sorry, operations.php, and we need to include this file inside our index.php file. So I go to above, and I'm going to call, first I'm going to call require once dbconfig.php, and we need to make an object of the dbconfig file. Inside dbconfig file have a function like connectdb, and inside this file have also operations.php. Once you made the object of the db.config file, then you will be able to access the operations.php file, but you need to also make an object of this file. I'm going to show with you. So first thing, I'm going to call make an object of operations.php file. First I'm going to use this one, dbconfig.php, right? This one way. Okay, so I'm going to call db equal to new, this is a variable name, this is a new keyword, and I'm going to call operations.php. So I'm going to display use this one functions, right? So I go to below, and after the header tag I'm going to call basic syntax of PHP. I'm going to call echo no db, and inside the db have a function. What is function name? Store record. This one function, right? As you can see, I am able to see this one function. This is the object of the operations.php file, and inside this file have a function with the name of store record, right? Why I have used require once config file db.config file inside this index.php file, because inside db.config file have already included the file operations.php. You just need to make an object of the specific class. Inside the specific class have functions and also variables. You can call them. I'll teach with you step by step. So first thing, I'm going to check that it's working or not. Okay, here is some problem. The first one problem is I have a db.config file, line number 3, db.config file, line number 3, this one. So I'm gonna use another way, dot this way, db.config, right? Sorry, operations.php, right? This one. So first I'm gonna check that what is operations.php. Just a minute, guys. And set config file operations.php file, save. Let's check it now. db.config require once file opening. Just a minute, guys, I check that. If you config operations.php, it's file is available. Why I seen this one problem? Okay, just a minute guys, I use single dot, and also I think I need to include this one on here, but I'm going to change that to use dbconfig, because I will use queries, and also I will use this function to connect the database with our application and also our program. So I think okay, everything is perfect guys, as you can see. So I'm gonna use something, just use, why I use this one with working, right? So we are able to use this way to get the data from input text field. So I'm gonna remove this one, and one more thing we need to do, we need to go on dbconfig file, and inside that we need to call, first we need to call constructor public function underscore construct. Inside that I'm gonna call $this and dbconnect function. Means if I will call this class with another file, and we will create an object, then the constructor will be automatically loaded and our database will be connected. So I will use this way, and also I cut that and paste on here. Now the next thing, we need to make a function inside this class, and this function will help you to get the data from input text field, and we don't need to assign the two parameters like connection and query. We just assign the function. I'm going to show with you. I'm going to use public function, I'm going to call check and pass the parameter a, right? I'm going to call the return variable and call MySQL real estate string, this hyphen and connection variable, right? This is our first parameter. Now the second parameter, we need to pass a variable. We will call this function on here to get the data from input text field. I will teach with you how you can do that. Now the next thing, you need to call return keyword and return the variable like this one. Do you want to change the name? You can do that, save that. Now the next thing, you need to go on operations.php file. Inside that you need to make a variable first name, and you just call, first you need to make an object of the dbconfig file. So I'm going to call db equal to new and dbconfig file, right? Once you met, then you are able to access this variable, I mean this object. Inside this object have a function and also variable with the name of connection. You will use that to perform the operations like insert, update, delete, view. So I'm gonna call db, and this one object, inside the object I'm gonna call create function. Oh, what is function name? Check. Just a minute, I check out the function name. Check. Okay. Okay, one more thing we need to do, we need to use global db inside this function, because this object available outside of the class. So inside that have a function check. Inside check function have a parameter. We need to pass parameter, so I'm going to call $_post single quotation. We need to get the data from input text field. So I go to index.php file, copy the first name, paste here. I'm gonna leave that. This is the first value, copy that, paste. Now the second one is the last, copy that, paste. Third one is a username, copy, paste. Fourth one is a user email, copy and paste. You need to change the variable name, last name, username, and finally is a user email. Do you want to change that? You can do the user email. Now the next thing, we need to also create a function. Outside of this function, I'm going to call function. That function will help you to store the record. I'm going to show with you. Function insert record. We need to pass 4 parameters: A, B, C, D. Do you want to change the name? You can do that. Inside this function, we need to first write global DB object, and we need to write the query. Query is insert into table name is employees, and column name is first name, last name, username, and I think user email. I will check that. Employees, structure, last one is a simple email, so I'm going to use email. Those are database column. Values, parentheses, single quotation, comma, single quotation, comma, single quotation. We need to pass the parameter which available inside this function: A, B, comma, C, comma, D, right? Now the next thing, you need to call result and call db comma this, and what, no, I'm gonna call MySQL query. Inside there we need to pass 2 parameters: db this db comma connection, second one is a query variable. Then I'm going to call if result variable is active to return true, otherwise return false. This is our function. This function I'm going to call inside of this function. So I'm going to call if $this insert record function is active. We need to pass 4 parameters. So copy the first one variable, paste here, comma, second one variable, paste here, third one variable, paste here, fourth one variable, paste here, right? This is your function. If this function is working fine, then I'm going to display the message. So I'm going to call echo div close, now send class alert success. I just use alert success. Your record has been saved in the database. Saved, I just use saved, right? Otherwise, I will redirect with, I'm going to display the same message but change the alert danger. Your record doesn't, I just use failed. And also I'm going to assign the validation, simple validation required. I don't remember that, but I tried that. This is a empty field validation, so I think I need to check that. Call method 14, this one, check. Okay, just a minute. Why I seen this one problem? Just a minute. I use config folder name. right? Config inside, just a minute, I use this one is, I think there is a problem. Config config.php file. I think it should work. Not working fine, so I need to use .sun again. Let's check it now again. Undefined method check. This one method, I have designed this one method inside db.config file, so why check function doesn't work on here? Global db check post first name. Just a minute guys, I checked that. Okay guys, so the problem is we need to use extend keyword, and we need to include db.config the config file, this one file, because we need to use this one function connection, so we need to also include the extend and class name. So I have tried that. I'm going to show it you. Web developer web.com. Your record has been saved. I already stored record inside this one table, right? Now let's check it now. I think I need to, last one is empty. I think this video is too long. In the next video I'm gonna teach with you how you can display the record, right? So thank you very much for watching. See you in the next lecture.